Hello folks, and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. Today's delve into the shadows will take us back to the early 2000s. It started as a simple blog documenting a cave exploration, but quickly spiraled into one of the internet's most chilling legends. Ted the Caver's journey descends into darkness, mystery, and pure terror. Was it just a story, or did he uncover something that should have stayed hidden? The year was 2001. The dawn of a new millennium brought with it a sense of wonder and anticipation. Technology was advancing rapidly, and the internet was becoming a household staple, connecting people in ways previously unimaginable. The internet, a burgeoning frontier, held a new kind of campfire story. These digital tales spread like wildfire, captivating audiences with their blend of reality and fiction. It was a time when the line between the two was often blurred, creating an atmosphere ripe for mystery and intrigue. A tale whispered on forums, passed from inbox to inbox. These stories were shared in chat rooms and message boards, creating a sense of community among those who reveled in the unknown. One such story stood out among the rest, capturing the imagination of many. This wasn't folklore of old, this was the legend of Ted the Caver. Unlike traditional ghost stories, this tale was grounded in the real world, making it all the more terrifying. It began innocuously enough, but soon spiraled into something much darker. The story originated on a caving enthusiast website, Angel Fire. This platform, popular in the early 2000s, was a hub for hobbyists and adventurers alike. It was here that Ted, an avid caver, began to share his experiences. A user, claiming to be named Ted, began documenting his exploration of a local cave system. His posts were detailed, filled with descriptions of the cave's layout and the challenges he faced. At first, it seemed like a typical adventure blog. What started as mundane descriptions of tight squeezes and muddy passages soon took a sinister turn. Ted's updates became increasingly unsettling, hinting at something lurking in the depths of the cave. Ted's reports grew stranger, filled with unsettling details. He described finding odd symbols and hearing whispers in the dark. His sketches, once simple diagrams, now depicted eerie figures and cryptic messages. He described an oppressive atmosphere, strange noises, and an almost tangible sense of dread. Readers were captivated. The sense of fear was palpable, and many found themselves checking for updates with bated breath. Was this a clever work of fiction or something more? The ambiguity only added to the story's allure. People debated its authenticity, with some convinced it was real and others certain it was a hoax. Ted's writing was vivid, his fear palpable. His posts conveyed a sense of urgency and desperation, making it hard to dismiss his experiences as mere fiction. The more he wrote, the more people were drawn into his world. As his updates grew more erratic, filled with paranoia and cryptic messages, the line between reality and fiction blurred. Ted's descent into madness was both fascinating and horrifying to witness. The legend of Ted the Caver had begun. It was a story that would be told and retold, a modern myth born from the depths of the internet. Even today it remains a chilling reminder of the power of storytelling in the digital age. The internet, still a relatively new phenomenon back in 2001, amplified the story's impact. Ted's updates were shared on forums and message boards, each retelling adding to the growing sense of unease. The story took on a life of its own, fueled by speculation and the anonymity of the online world. The story's power lay in its ambiguity. Ted's fate was never revealed, his final journal entry ending abruptly mid-sentence. Did he escape the cave, or did something claim him in the darkness? The unanswered questions lingered, fueling the legend. The legend of Ted the Caver resonated with people on a visceral level. It wasn't just a story, it was an experience that gripped the imagination and refused to let go. It spoke to our fear of the unknown, of the darkness that exists both within ourselves and in the world around us. The tale of Ted's journey into the cave was more than a simple adventure. It was a metaphor for the human condition. The story's power lay in its simplicity, its ability to tap into our deepest anxieties. The cave, with its narrow passages and hidden dangers, became a symbol of the fears we all harbor. Many readers reported feeling a sense of unease after reading Ted's story, a lingering feeling that something wasn't quite right. It was as if the cave's darkness had followed them into their own lives, casting shadows in their minds. Some claim to have experienced strange occurrences after reading the story, as if the darkness Ted encountered had seeped into their own lives. Lights flickering, unexplained noises, and a constant feeling of being watched were just some of the eerie experiences reported. Whether these experiences were real or imagined is impossible to say, but they added to the legend's mystique. The line between reality and fiction blurred, making Ted the Caver's story an enduring enigma that continues to captivate and terrify. The legend of Ted the Caver didn't end on that Angel Fire page. It was just the beginning of a phenomenon that would ripple through the internet and beyond. Its influence can be felt in countless other stories, from horror films to creepypastas shared in hushed whispers online. Ted's journey into the unknown has inspired a generation of storytellers to explore the darkest corners of their imagination. The story's themes of isolation, paranoia, and the terrifying power of the unknown have become staples of the horror genre. These elements tap into our deepest fears, making us question what lies just beyond the reach of our senses. Films like The Descent and As Above, So Below owe a clear debt to Ted's tale, exploring the terror of being trapped underground with something sinister lurking in the shadows. These movies capture the claustrophobic fear and the primal dread of the unknown that Ted's story so effectively conveyed. Creepypastas, those modern-day campfire stories shared online, often feature similar themes of exploration gone wrong, and the horrors that await in the dark corners of the internet. They remind us that the digital age has its own shadows, where the line between reality and fiction blurs, and the echoes of fear can be felt long after the screen goes dark. The legend of Ted the Caver remains unsolved. Was it a hoax, a clever piece of fiction designed to scare? Or did something truly happen to Ted in that dark, unexplored cave? The answer, like the fate of Ted himself, remains shrouded in mystery. The story's ambiguity is perhaps its most unsettling aspect. It leaves us with a lingering sense of unease, a feeling that something is not quite right. And that ultimately is the true power of the legend of Ted the Caver. It reminds us that some mysteries are best left unsolved, some darkness best left unexplored. That's a wrap on the urban legend of Ted the Caver. Anyone here ever heard the full story before? More impressively, anyone here remember Angel Fire? Haha. Thank you all for joining me on another delve into the shadows. I hope you found today's eerie story to be entertaining. Please like and subscribe. Also, I'd love to see your thoughts down in the comments. Until next time.